Live. All right. What's up, guys? Welcome back or welcome to the Isaiah LaFone Show. I'm so glad that you have chosen to join me today. It's a pleasure to be with you. Today, we're going to be talking about the state of the country and this next generation. Sorry, I just heard an echo in my ear there. We're going to be talking about this next generation, how we can get involved, how we can help. We have a country to save. Ultimately, the establishment and the generations that have come before us have failed to govern the country properly. And the propositions of MAGA do not go far enough in order to save this country. So we're going to be talking about all of that with a potential Mossad agent. Thank you guys so much. My name is Isaiah LaFone. Welcome to the Isaiah LaFone Show. Miss Taylor, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing really well. So, thank you guys so much for being here. 7 people watching right now. Make sure to go ahead and put your comments. We're gonna have a long Q&A session today. Our topic today, we're talking about obviously Gen Z people, what we can do to help save the country. Ultimately, as I said in the opening, the generations that have come before us have failed to govern the country properly. We suffer right now under a system that I call a generational communism, ultimately taking money from one generation, that being the young people, the Zoomers, and giving it to the Boomers so that they can live the rest of their lives in relative peace and comfort. And so we're going to be talking about what people can do. So, but first of all, I want to let you introduce yourself. You are the first woman ever on the Isaiah LaFone Show, so that should be a real
I'm
honor to
excited.
you. So, yeah,
I'm very honored. I'm
yeah.
very, very honored. I'm not
So
a
go ahead and
Mossad
tell the
agent
people
though.
about
I
yourself a
need
little
a
bit.
Okay, well, hi, I'm Taylor Snavely. First thing about me, guys, I'm not a Mossad agent, I promise. Um, I am the president of my local TPUSA chapter. I helped founded that. And I also have my own podcast that I'm just now starting with my best friend. It's called the Liberty Square Podcast. I'm really excited about that. I'm also a writer for the National High School Conservatives, which is very fun. And I'm just trying to get more involved and do more speaking, and I just really want to help turn this country around because it's going down a very dark path. And I think that so many of us who are going to be running this country in the future should be getting involved now and learning now
Hmm.
while we have the chance because we're going to be in it very, very soon. So we need to be learning about it sooner rather than later.
Right. And how long have you been involved in politics yourself?
I've not been involved very long. I have always been like interested in politics, but for me, I never thought it was something I'd actually get into. So a little bit about like how I got like became conservative also. When I first moved to Texas, I just wanted to fit in and
Hmm.
I immediately became friends with just people who were there and I think it these people forced me to kind of be somebody I didn't want to and a lot of like leftist ideology was pressed onto me that I didn't want in my life. And so there was something I saw was like every person who becomes a conservative kind of has like that click moment that like you realize this isn't what I want, and then
Hmm.
you start changing your values. But I started to get more involved around when Charlie passed away, which I think a lot of people did. But for me, it's something like it just clicked in my head like I'm tired of watching from the sideline because I feel like so many people now like they're like we need to be doing this and we need to be doing that, but they don't want to get involved. And for me, I was always somebody like we need to do that and we need to do that, but I was tired of just watching from the sideline knowing that there was something I could do and that I actually could get involved at such a young age because everybody assumes you have to be older to get involved in the politics, but that's not the way it is. And so then I started my chapter and went to AmFest, and that's when it really
Nice.
boomed off because then I realized I have such a great community of people who have the same mission I do because at high school, me personally doing the TPUSA stuff, I get called a lot of names, and it's hard because in high school, you just want to fit in, but I think there's a lot of people out there who have the same mission that I do, and I know that you also have.
Hmm. So you started a TPUSA chapter after school. So tell me about that. How'd that happen?
So when he passed away, I was watching the funeral service with my dad,
Hmm.
and to me, I was really upset when Charlie passed away. Like, it almost didn't feel real. Like,
Hmm.
I was just like, oh, like, it just didn't click to me. It didn't actually like process to me for a little bit. And so I was watching the funeral service, and they kept posting a thing like, if you want to start a TPUSA chapter, scan this thing. And
Hmm.
so I was like, you know what? I'll just scan it. If somebody else starts a chapter, I'll join it. Well,
Yeah.
then I get added to a group chat with other people at my school who I've never talked to before, who also wanted to start one. And so it
Hmm.
was really exciting. We talked to a TPUSA field rep, and it was hard getting it started because I live in kind of an area where it's tend to be more liberal in the high schools, especially. I mean,
Hmm.
we did a fake presidential election, and that kind of showed where people lean more. And it was hard to start, but we've started growing a lot. We have a
Hmm.
first guest speaker event this upcoming month. So it's one of those things, it was hard to start, but if anybody is thinking about doing it, I would recommend it so much because it's genuinely one of the most like fun things I've ever done. And it gives you such a good community to where you don't feel alone because in the sense of like conservatism, a lot of us who are younger feel like we're on our own because it's the cool thing or it's the normal thing to lean more liberal or to be this pro-choice or be this and be that. And it's so nice to like have a community where you have people with the same values as you instead of feeling like you're like isolated. That
Hmm.
makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So who won that presidential election?
Oh, that was Kamala all the way. It was really, really it was really prominently Kamala. It was, if I remember correctly, it was somewhere around like 80 to 20.
Hmm.
It was, and I think one thing that's so sad to me is that they did this not only with the high schools, but they did it with the junior highs and they did it with the elementary schools. And what was so sad to me was the fact that they were doing that in elementary school
Hmm.
because most of these kids shouldn't be having to worry about politics at the eight freaking kindergarten. I mean, shoot, in kindergarten, I was worried about show and tell or what I'm gonna do and hang out with my friends or what I'm gonna play on the playground. But it's just, it's gone so far deep into the younger ages that it's almost hard to not be involved because
Hmm.
you're being forced to be involved. But yeah, that means you also have to actually learn instead of just, well, my teacher said this, so that's what I should do. But
Hmm.
that's just the way it's become is schools just want to indoctrinate and you have to be able to do some research for yourself because then you're going to go down a rabbit hole and then after that be like, I wish I didn't vote for this. I wish I didn't get involved in this. But
Hmm.
yeah.
Yeah. Now I did do a mock election when I was in kindergarten. That was 2012. And it was Mitt Romney, Barack Obama. I remember Mitt Romney won. But yeah, no, so for those who don't know, I also started a TPUSA chapter shortly after. My story is I actually filled out the information the day after Charlie Kirk's death. I went online, clicked on the little link, and filled out the form. But the form sent me to like after I clicked submit, it sent me to like a error page or whatever. And so I emailed Turning Point, I tagged them on X and everything. And ultimately, I went to a college and I go to a college that I thought going into it was a conservative institution. Come to find out, that's not necessarily the case. But so I didn't expect the pushback we got, but ultimately, we got a ton of pushback, but we fought through it, and we've got more turmoil still going on now in the chapter. Feels like every other day there's something else, but ultimately, I would say that if you're thinking about doing it, do it. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of work, but you'll meet a lot of great people through that. So I want to keep going. So obviously, our country is not what we want it to be. Obviously, it's not what she used to be. You can see videos, from the 1950s. People are
Yeah.
walking, on the streets, and they're not afraid of being stabbed or anything. It's very nice, very beautiful place. Ultimately, now we're going towards a third world hellhole, and a lot of young people really don't know what to do. So what would you advise, the young person who's thinking about, I don't know really what to do. What should he do?
I think for me, and I was actually talking to somebody about this today,
Hmm.
is to just listen. Because I feel like so many times now in politics, well, this person doesn't have the same beliefs as me. I won't even give them the time of day. I won't
Hmm.
listen. And I think it's good to just also listen to other people's point of views because sometimes somebody will say something, be like, I never thought of it that way. But it's also good to actually do research because not every CNN headline is the truth. You're not going to get your entire information off of a CNN headline, but there's so many options out there. And I just advise people to like pay attention to what's going around you. I mean, speaking of me, I just turned an adult. Like now I can actually go vote, and so many of these people who are in high school are about to be at that point where they can.
Hmm.
And so it's important to just learn because you're about to be in this world where you're going to be affected by what you vote by. Like if you
Hmm.
vote for something, it's going to affect you. And if you don't know what's going on, then you're just voting for random stuff because somebody told you to, and then now you're being negatively affected. So I think it's one of those things of you just gotta learn, and you gotta be willing to learn. You're not gonna know everything. Just me speaking for myself, I know I don't know everything, and that's okay. But you have to be willing to learn instead of just assuming you know everything because, well, my opinion or my thought of it is I think this should be this way. Well, it's not always that way. So you just got to be willing to learn because there's so many people out there who are like, "Oh, well, I know this is that way because I want it to be that way." Sadly, you don't always get what you want in the world. That's
Hmm.
just not how it works. So I think you just, if I was to advise somebody, is to just learn and be
Yeah.
willing to learn and be open to learn because that's ultimately how you grow more as a person. Even in school, you got to be willing to learn. So it's the same approach of you just have to be willing to learn. And it's not like a, you have to go do all research all day, but just pay attention to what's going on and don't be afraid to listen to people. Like these podcasts. It's a great opportunity. You're getting ready in the morning and you want to learn, put a podcast on, put something on, but just pay attention to what's going on around you and like be open to learn. That's my advice. And not care about what people say because popularity now has become such a hard thing where it's like, oh, well, who has the nicest car? Who has the nicest clothes? Who has the nicest this and that? And you don't have the same opinion as the majority, well, they treat you like crap. They make you seem like you're excluded. And just know that what you're doing is for the right reasons and do it for yourself and not for other people.
Yeah, and I would, to piggyback off of that, and some other ways to get informed on what's going on. Ultimately, I I was talking about this to a guy recently, and he, of course, told me that I lived in a right wing echo chamber. But ultimately, because I told him, I said, I don't read mainstream media headlines. I just don't read their articles because I see, a headline about something happened. I want to go to the source, show me the video, show me the pictures, show me the screenshots. Like the whole issue with the young Republican group chat back in October. There were so many media headlines about there was these Nazi chats, these kids were Nazis, it's this, it's that, and whatever. And you look at the screenshots, and yeah, there's some edgy jokes on there, but they're not like it's a bunch of kids trying to be cool. Like it's not like they're not Nazis. And so ultimately, you can't trust anything that the media tells you. So I would encourage you, if you want to get informed about what's going on, go to the source. Also, too, you don't need to just be focused on current events. I would say you need to read political philosophy. The Conservative Mind by Russell Kirk is a good place to start on that. The Federalist Papers, if you want to understand the meaning of the Constitution. Let me think here. Revolt of the Elites, if you want to understand, how our current establishment works and how it runs. Um, John Locke, two treatises on government. You want to read his governmental philosophy. It influenced a lot of early American thinking. Ultimately, I don't agree with Locke on everything. I think he was right when he said atheists shouldn't be allowed to exist in polite society because they're inherently illogical. But so I would say keep up to date with current events and also study political philosophy, learn and study the scriptures because ultimately our theology informs everything we do. You cannot divorce God from government. And that's been the case since the beginning. And anytime we try to, like we have in the United States, we have since the 1960s when the Supreme Court decided that it was just about time. And the kind of consensus after World War II, especially after the Cold War, though, was that we were at the end of history. And we're at the end of history. These are new elitist class. We're a bunch of atheistic people, and we're going to make the world a better society, quote unquote, as I perceive it, because the sun is. But ultimately, it doesn't really matter because the sun is going to blow up in 5 billion years or something like that. And so, really, my purpose in life is just to gain more and more power. And so, like I said, read the current events, but read philosophy and figure out how we got here because knowing how we got here is the only way you'll know how we can get back to what we used to be. So, you mentioned getting involved in activism. So, what all have you done in that regard?
So, like I have my podcast I'm now starting, and
Hmm.
then I've been working slightly with the National High School Conservatives because
Hmm.
some of my friends are the founders of it.
Hmm.
And we've been just trying to, and I mean me personally, I'm just trying to teach people. That's my main
Hmm.
thing, is I want people to actually know what's going on. Like, there's certain issues I prioritize, like for me personally, that I personally want to talk about more or want to try to help educate people on more. And, like, for me personally, I really wanna start speaking more on the whole thing about, like, women in sports, because I'm a female athlete, or men in women's sports, sorry, because I'm a female athlete, and then abortion because I know people who will never get to have children, and people who had abortions and then are like, "I wish I never did that."
Hmm.
And so, for me, I wanna speak up more. Like, I know at Amfest, Charlie, the whole thing was, like, pick up the mic, and I feel like now is, like, a good time at a young age to pick up that mic because if you don't do it now, you might not ever do it. And so, I think for me, I just wanna speak up more about what is going on and help people who don't stay up to date. One of my best friends, we were out at my birthday dinner. She's like, "I have no idea what's going on in the world." She literally does not keep up with anything. And so there's a lot of people like that, and I think it's important for people to learn because they do get affected about what's going on. It does affect people. So that's kind of what I really want to focus on more, and that what I have been focusing on is just speaking up and not
Yeah.
being afraid of what people think or if somebody's going to negatively have a bad view on me.
Mm.
It's I'm doing this for my country. I'm not doing this for my own glory. I'm not doing this to make me look better. I'm doing this for my country because I want to see this country be so much better than what it is in right now. Because it's going such a downward way. And it's sad to watch. And anything I can do to try to help it get back to such a great place, then I'm willing to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, and ultimately, I think a lot more young people need to get involved, especially Christian young people, especially the theologically educated, because ultimately, y- in a society, usually it should be led by the older people. That's just generally how societies have always functioned. But there come certain times in human history in which that's just not feasible. I mean, you look at the you know, boomer generation, who's going to stand up and say something? Boomers for the most part are more, worried at least about, maintaining the system as it exists now and keeping their welfare checks coming in. And when you talk to them, and I've noticed this a lot, my grandparents obviously are an exception because they're wonderful people, but a lot of boomers, you speak to them about the issues facing young people, they're more, flippant. They're like, It's kind of whatever, because ultimately it doesn't affect them. We used to have this idea in American society that I'm going to slave away and I'm going to sacrifice so that my children can have it better. And then the next generation said, I'm going to sacrifice so my children can have it better, and et cetera, et cetera. But the boomer generation was kind of introduced. They were so coddled growing up because the generation that came before them, the generations that fought World War II, decided, that was too awful. We want to shield them from anything bad. And so they grew up in kind of a coddled environment. They kind of got everything that they wanted, and that continues on and on and on in this narcissistic attitude of I'll take and I'll take and I'll take. And ultimately, it's put the country trillions of dollars in debt. We're going to have to pay that off. Debt just doesn't just sit there. But of the boomers, who's going to rise up? None of them. None of them really, for the most part, none of them really care. Millennials, Gen X, for the most part, none of them are really particularly involved. So it's going to have to be the young people. And ultimately, Trump has been, I think, good for American conservatism because we were on the fast track of, absolute destruction. The Republican Party was and kind of still is today the Democratic Party 20 years ago, and that's still a problem. Conservatives continue ceding ground, and they conserve nothing. And but Trump was really good because he woke a lot of people up, but ultimately he hasn't gone far enough. Ultimately, he hasn't done enough, and I don't expect him to. Trump is a boomer; he's not going to rock the ship too much. But ultimately, the system itself can't be saved. And that's why we need young people to step up, start running for office, start speaking. So that's why I say read, read, read. Make sure that you are the most educated and intelligent that you can possibly be before you speak up. But speak up because, I've had boomers tell me, oh, you'll get married and you'll have children and then you'll just stop caring. Then you'll realize that it's just politics. It doesn't matter. No, this is the future of our civilization. We owe it to our ancestors. We owe it to our children to do this and to fix this nation. Ultimately, I mean, I have a personal stake in it. Alexander Hamilton is my great grandfather. And so it's my personal stake. Uh, and the founding fathers were very young people. They were in their 20s for the most part. George Washington was a bit older, but they were in the 20s for the most part. Hamilton himself was 18. And so there is precedent, when the nation is in crisis, for young people to step up. So I guess continuing on, how was Amfest, by the way? Did you enjoy that?
Amfest was amazing. I could talk about this forever. Amfest was so amazing because I feel like it gave me so many new friends. Like, I met so many people who I've never heard of in my life.
Mhm,
Like, people, and it gave me so many good connections. I got to meet so many amazing people. Like, for me, when I was younger and I was really involved in NASCAR, Danica
mhm,
Patrick was like one of my childhood heroes. I thought she's the coolest person. At Amfest, I got to actually like meet her and talk to her, so that was like a
mhm,
highlight. And it was just so cool getting to hear from these people. But I definitely didn't sleep a lot because the last day when JD Vance was there, me and my friends got there at 3 o'clock in the morning, all excited to hear JD, but it was so worth it. I'm genuinely so excited for next year, and it just made me realize how much I want to do more instead of just be a chapter president or just do that. Like, no, this is really what I want to do, and this is really what
mhm,
I'm passionate about. And getting to hear from some of these big voices in person, like it's cool hearing their
mhm,
podcasts, it's cool seeing their YouTube videos, but getting to like hear these people in person makes it like hit more. Like,
mhm.
for me, I always, like, thought JD Vance was cool, like, his whole, like, story about his life was always, like, so
Have you read his
inspiring.
book?
I'm actually reading it right now in English.
Based. It's
I'm
great.
I'm working on it. I'm excited. It's really good so far.
Mhm,
But, um, getting to hear him in person was really cool. I was I was geeking out. It was so cool. I was, like, fangirling. It was such a cool moment. But, like, I don't think people realize, like, going to, like, events where you're surrounded around the people that you wanna be like heavily with like conservatives, it really does like cause it to kind of like click in your head like there's really more I could do. Like I saw a tweet, I think it was a tweet or a post that somebody made during Amfest weekend. It was like, just think that there's hundreds of kids there who are making some of their lifelong conservative best friends who are then going to be running for office or who are going to be starting these great organizations.
Mhm.
And I think it's so cool because my now best friend who I'm starting this podcast with, we met at Amfest.
Mhm.
Well, we met before, but we became super close at Amfest. And now we're going to start a podcast because of that. I got involved in the high school conservative stuff. So it was really exciting for me. I mean, because I've never really gone to any cool, like, conservative events. It's not something I didn't even think I was gonna go to Amfest until I actually, like, started my chapter, and I was like, "You know what?
Mhm.
I should go to
Same.
Amfest." And I 100% recommend. If you're ever thinking like, maybe I should go to Amfest next year," you should go. It is so much fun, and it's so cool because like, what's so neat is not everybody there agrees with each other. Like, we all are conservatives, blah, 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 but there's things that we don't agree on, but you could hear some great conversations. Like, I don't remember where it was. I think it was the Rumble booth. At some points, there was like a little debate going on, and it's like little things that we can actually have a conversation about. And you could
Mhm.
really learn a lot. So, how was your Amfest? How did you like
My
Amfest?
Amfest was great. That's funny you were talking about people lining up to see JD Vance at 3 AM in the morning. So I had a friend who was there at like 4 AM and I was told that like people were cutting in line and all this stuff. I pulled up at like maybe 10 minutes before the doors were going to close. Because I was like, dude, I'm not getting up that early. I'm not doing all that. So I pull up like 10 minutes before the doors close, and I get down there, and I got a seat beside a nice older lady from Chicago. She was really nice. But yeah, Amfest was incredible. I loved the college social. That was incredible to get to talk to different people. The debates were the debates in the exhibit hall between America First people and more MAGA people were fun. I loved that. Wish I partook in more of that stuff. But yeah, it was really good. Well, who was your favorite speaker?
That's hard. There's so many good ones. That's why it's hard for me. There's so many. JD's probably one of my favorites just because I
Mhm.
love hearing JD because he kind of is in that he's gonna say what he wants to say and he doesn't really
Mhm.
care if somebody doesn't like him. Like when he was talking, he's like, and I know the news is probably gonna clip me and probably try to make me look bad, but I'm gonna say what I want to say. So for
Mhm.
me, it was really cool, but I also didn't get to go to general session a lot because it was always so full.
Mhm.
Like the first day, me and my friends got in, but there was people I knew who didn't get to be in
Yeah.
there. So it was hard to get in there, but it was really cool getting to actually like see these people. I think if I had to pick one, I would say JD.
JD. Any runner-ups?
Ooh, um, that's a hard one. Erica was cool. Erica was really
Mhm.
cool. Oh my gosh, there's so many. I don't know. It's hard to pick because there's so many. But for me, Rob Schneider was really cool too.
Mhm.
I was I was 5 people away from getting to meet Rob Schneider. They cut me off, like, right before the
Dude,
thing.
that's crazy.
I was
That's
so
wild.
mad, and I was, like, prepared because some of my favorite movies Rob Schneider's in. I was, like, so excited, I
Mhm.
was like, "I'm gonna get there, it's gonna be great." 5 people then, they're like, "Alright, you're cut off, he's gotta be there and or back up on stage at a certain amount of time." So but it
Dang,
was really
dude.
cool. It was a lot of really cool people. Who was your favorite person you got to hear from?
Yeah, so yeah, that's tough too. I probably say JD Vance as well, but I really liked Glenn Beck. I really liked Glenn Beck's speech. I think his
Yeah.
speech was really well timed and it was wonderful, especially after the whole debacle that happened with Ben Shapiro and Tucker Carlson on the first day.
Oh my god.
I so funny enough, when the kid got up, Nikki Rudd, the kid that got up and asked the question regarding the USS Liberty, which I believe is a totally reasonable question. He gets up and he asks the question, and there's an older gentleman sitting directly behind me. And as he finishes, he screams, "That kid's an anti-Semite!" And I'm like, turned back around at him, and I glared at the dude. I'm like, "What are we doing?" After Ben gets off stage, he leans forward, grabs my shoulder. Which, by the way, why are you touching me, bro? Like what are we doing? But he grabs my shoulder and he says, like whispers in my ear, which by the way, this is getting kind of weird now. Like ultimately, like this old man has grabbed my shoulder and is now whispering in my ear. And he says, it was his tone of voice, it's the way he said it. And I looked at him and I was like, bro, bro's tone is racist. Like, what isn't racist now, guys? You guys, look, Chuds, I know all of you are commenting. We're gonna get to your questions in a minute, but be careful, dude, because our tones are racist now. Like, literally, we can't get past it. So yeah, no, that was great. But Glenn Beck, his speech talking about, look, no questions is off limits. You should be free to ask all these different questions. And I really liked. I liked Tucker up until the point that he started glazing Muslims. That was cringe. He should shut up. He was doing that. I was like, Tucker, bro, shut up. But he was good up until that point. Other than him, I like Nick Freitas. He was really good. So yeah.
That
So
was
yeah,
really
if you
cool.
want to go to AmFest, guys, there's early bird registration going on right now. I got my tickets like literally right after I left the venue, and I got them for $25. I don't know if they still got that going on, but Chuds, get your tickets, and we'll have a LaFoni meetup at AmFest. It'll be great.
A
It'll be
LaFoni meetup.
fantastic. All my LaFonis show up to AmFest.
It's so much fun, especially like the whole Ben Shapiro thing. Like me and my friends were just sitting there like jaw dropped. I mean, you'll hear some crazy things there, but it's so much fun. That whole Ben Shapiro thing, we were just like what is going on? But no, I highly recommend if anybody's considering going to Amfest, going. It's it's so much fun. There's a lot of people. You will definitely see a lot of people there. I've met a lot of really cool people. And there's some people who you see online and you're like, "That's a cool person, I'd love to meet him." There's a bunch of meet and greets going on. There's a bunch
mhm.
I didn't get the chance to go to, which was unfortunate, but there was a lot of, like, cool opportunities there, so some of these people who you might look up to, you might get to actually meet them and tell them, like, "Hey, I actually look up to you." And so if you're, like, considering going, you should go. It's a lot of fun. Get your tickets while they're on sale because
Yes.
I fully expect those prices are gonna go up. I
Oh
mean,
yeah.
VIP is already more expensive this year than it was last year. Last year wasn't as bad, and I go look at the VIP this year, it was so expensive. I'm like, "Nope, I'll stick with my general admission, I'm good."
Yeah, exactly. I'm not rich enough for that. I'm
Yeah,
not that
it
bougie.
I'm not $600. Nope, I'm good. I'll
No,
stick
yeah.
with
No,
my
that's
general
yeah,
admission.
that's pocket change, dude. Pocket change.
Yeah, I'm good. I'll stick with my general admission.
Yeah.
I got to go in the VIP lounge, though, it was very
You
cool. It was
did.
very
You
big,
snuck
I
in.
did. No, I didn't sneak in, my Danica Patrick meet and greet was in there, and I
Mhm.
also got to meet the Target lady.
Oh, nice.
She
Nice.
was one of the sweetest ladies ever. I had talked to her and I was like, "So how is it?" She's like, "I'm so confused why everybody wants a photo with me. Like, I don't understand." I'm like, "Because a lot of people think that what you did was great. Like, you stood up for what you believed in and you you wore what you wanted to wear." And she was like,
Mhm.
"I just don't understand what I did." I'm like, "You're all good. You were doing the right thing." She's like,
It's
"Oh,
alright.
okay."
You popped off. You don't even know it, but you popped off. It's
She
alright.
was one of the sweetest ladies. But
Mhm.
no, the VIP lounge is very cool, but not $600. But
Mhm.
in the VIP lounge though, you'll see a lot of the speakers walking by because it connects right into backstage.
Mhm.
So you'll see a lot of the people back there, and it's really cool back there, but not $600 cool.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, we're going to move into the Q&A section because I looked just a second ago, 202 comments. We have 30 people watching right now. And I know that half of you are only watching because there's a woman on the show. So, Chuds, put in your questions. Don't be too crazy.
And
Do
I got my
not
friends
listen.
watching too.
Yeah, Zach, do not embarrass me, Chuds. Do not embarrass me. Okay. All right. But any last thoughts on the topic of how people can get involved and why they should, etc.?
I think just don't be afraid. Um, you're doing this for your country. And you gotta realize that people are gonna be mean. That's okay.
Mhm.
It's just life. People aren't gonna agree with you. Some of my best friends have completely opposite views, and that's fine. You're not gonna agree with everybody in the world. That's just not possible. But I mean, just looping around, don't be afraid to learn. Read, read, read. There's so much to know, there's so much to learn, and don't be afraid to get involved because it's genuinely so much fun when you get involved. Like,
Mhm.
once you're involved, you're, like, in it. There's no, "Oh, well, I'm kinda, eh." No, once like, I know for me personally, once I got involved, I'm fully in this. There's no, like, 1 foot in, 1 foot out. No, like, I'm fully in this. So, I think that's all I have to say about it is don't be afraid to get involved because it could really help this country so much, and it could help you a lot as you grow older. I mean, me, I'm about to go off to a college where it is a more liberal college, but they do have, like, a TPUSA chapter and a college Republicans and all that. But don't be afraid, no matter the crowd, to speak up for what you believe in, because if you don't do it, nobody will.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. This is the farthest scroll up I've had to do on a chat here now. But we're gonna go through all of your comments. So this is gonna be like, dude. So what's funny is I was sitting here thinking, man, I don't have anything else really to talk about after 35 minutes. Usually we go an hour and then we start answering, comments. But this was kind of put together a little hastily, which is fine. But I'm looking at all these comments. I'm like, dude, this is gonna take like 2-3 hours in and of itself. And but keep sending in your questions. 31 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe and send in a question. All right. What is this? No, we're not doing that. Chat, dude, we
None of
gotta,
the 6,
dude.
7
This
jokes,
is a
guys.
violation of the meme reset. No, dude, no, no, dude, we can't do. We no brain rot, bro.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm
Okay,
sorry.
no, you're good. You're good. Okay, here we go. Here we go. How much did the Mossad
I
agent
didn't
female
pay
pay
to be
you?
on this.
How much did the Mossad agent female pay you to spread her propaganda? Yeah, so I mean, this goes into. By the way, if you didn't watch yesterday's show, we had 3 women in the chat, which was like incredible for these guys. And there was the decision that she is either a Fed or a Mossad agent. So, how much did she pay me? She got me the
Nothing.
seven.
I
She
paid
got me the 7K from
nothing.
BB.
I paid
So
nothing. I don't
you
even
know,
have 7K. What?
it, dude, you don't have it. I have it now. That's right.
Oh,
Um, did you listen to a Diary of a Madman like I told you to? No, I'm sorry. I've been busy, bro. I've been busy. Um, I'm not answering some of these questions, dude. That's
yeah, some of
wild,
these
bro.
were just
Kid
not going.
Fury, bro. You are wild, bro. You are wild. Question for the question for the feminine humanoid. Are
No,
you a
I'm not
Mossad
a
agent?
Mossad agent. I'm not a Mossad agent. I don't know how many times I gotta tell y'all, I'm not a Mossad agent. And yes, I am real. For I
Can't
see some of y'all, the woman is not real. Yes, I am real, and
the
I'm not a
woman the one
Mossad agent.
but we all know that women are not real, dude. They're just tools of the Fed, bro. It's dude, listen, Chuds, they're trying to distract you. Keep your eye on the prize. Keep your eye on the mission, bro. Okay. Isaiah has a Fed on his show. Indeed.
Guys,
You
can we ask some actual questions and stop commenting about me being a Fed? I'm not a Fed.
dude, you know what's funny about that? You know what's funny about that is I never thought that I would ever sell out to the federal government, man. I always thought I'd be that independent voice, but money calls, man. Money calls. Okay.
Tell me why. Hold up, I need to stop for a second. Tell me why I get a text at the top of my computer from one of my friends that says, "Are you real?"
But
Yes,
are
I
you
am
though?
real.
That's
Yes,
the
I'm
question
real.
though. Are you though?
Yes, I'm real.
We'll see about that.
I'm a very real person.
Don't blow. I'm not gonna blow it for you guys. Come on now. Definitely a massage, dude. That's all these comments are, dude. Okay,
Tell me
here's
why
a.
another friend just texted me, "Are you a Fed?" I'm not a Fed.
She just might be though, chat. Hold on.
I'm
Have you
not a
have you
Fed.
been to the Moravian churches in Winston-Salem, North Carolina? I have not, dude. I need to go to Winston-Salem. I need to go to Old Salem. That'd be really cool. I'd love to do that. I love going to historic sites.
Amfest, that's where. That is where. And the
Dude, at
test of
Amfest, you'll find
I
a
am
bunch of Mossad agents, and you know they're Mossad agents because they start talking about Zionism or something. Okay,
wha
and they start trying to convince you to be a Zionist and to support
that is
Israel.
not
But see,
true.
I'm locked and loaded, dude. I am locked in. We're not doing that,
Not
dude.
true. Not true.
um
This is not gonna be anything besides y'all calling me feds. I'm not
Dude,
part of the feds.
super important question. What advice do you have to high school students where 90%, not an exaggeration, from my former high school is a future Bernie Sanders, AOC, and Greta's? I had to self-censor a lot. You wanna take that one? You can finally.
Yeah, sure. Um, I think for me, sorry, I got a text at the top. I think for me, it's, I have the benefit of I'm a senior. I'm about to leave. So whatever these people say, I most likely will never have to see them again. But
Mhm,
for a lot of these people who are younger or even then still worry about what you think, you know, you can still be friends with people whether you don't have the same political beliefs. I think one thing that's sad is you could hang out with somebody one moment and y'all are best friends, and then they find out you have a different political view, and suddenly they're Satan, or
mhm,
suddenly they're this or that. So I think it's just important to realize like what you're doing is the is a good thing to do. And yeah, it is hard. I mean, I'll even say for me, it is hard when I
mhm,
have my friends picking on me and be like, I can't believe you do this. I can't believe you do that. It is
yeah,
hard because, you just want, at high school, you just want to have friends. You don't like being lonely. That's just, that's just kind of the truth. But just realize like you're doing this for the right reasons. And it's okay that not everybody's gonna like you. Most of the time, you'll never have to see these people again. I mean, even my dad tells me, he's like, most of the time, he talks to maybe like three people from high school. Most of these people he never talks to anymore. So just
mhm,
realize, like, it's okay to do what you're doing, and it's all worth it in the end. I mean, you get to know that you've done all that you can, and it gives you good life skills too, especially being a leader in a chapter. Like, if you do a TPUSA chapter or some sort of chapter, like, getting those leadership skills and having to learn how to plan events or how to do this or how to do that, or how to keep things, like, organized in a group setting, it's just good life skills also. So, my advice, don't be afraid and just do it if you're thinking about doing it. Another thing is if you're, pray on it. That's one
mhm.
thing for me I did, was I was thinking about it and I was just like, "God, if this is what you want me to do, show me." And that's when I think literally the next day was when I heard back from Turning Point, when I'd forgotten I had even done the form.
Mhm.
And so just know that like it's okay. And if you're thinking about doing it, go for it.
Yeah. And ultimately, for my Christian viewers, at the end of the day, what matters more? You're standing in high school or you're standing before God? Because one day you're going to stand before God and He's going to question, and you're going to be questioned for everything that you've done with your life or in your life. What answer will you get? The answer of, well, I wanted to have friends. I wanted to fit in. I didn't want to ruffle any feathers. That's not going to be an acceptable answer on Judgment Day. Ultimately, if you deny the name of Christ before men, he will deny you before the Father. But also, too, I would say, obviously, I don't speak to many people I went to high school with, but I mean, I've been called by people I went to high school with, people who knew me for a long time before I was, extremely political and saying stuff online. I've been called, by one in particular I'm thinking of who I was really, really close to. He was like a mentor for me for a long time. I've been called, Nazi, a promoter of neo-Nazi propaganda, xenophobic, racist, this, that, whatever, and what have you. He said things about my family. People are going to say things, and you just have to ignore it because ultimately, people like that are instruments of the devil. They are instruments of the devil trying to knock you off course. And so ultimately, you have to grow a really thick skin. You have to just be able to ignore it and say, whatever, man.
Yeah.
Isaiah sees the chat. He knows what he's done. Okay. That's enough for that. Okay. Was the 7,000 worth it, Isaiah? You know,
I
I
didn't
don't
even
know,
pay
man. We'll
$7,000, so
we'll work on that. We'll work on that. Yeah, we know they paid this kid, dude. Oh my gosh,
not nobody's getting there's no money involved in this.
guys! Gabriel has been paid the 7K and has been compromised. Gabriel, is this true? Are you a subversive Israeli agent? I'm gonna buy a new suit. Okay. Let's scroll down here.
I say I can't even scroll through it, so I'm just letting you read them as they go. It's
This is
not
great, dude. This is
not
great.
compromised by Israel.
Okay, all right, all right, all right. Do I love Israel? Yes, I love the church. I love the church. I love the Israel of God. So true, so true. He blinked twice. Dude, what the heck, dude?
Was he supposed to just sit like this?
Yeah, yeah, exactly, exactly. Um I actually was not reading the chat at that point. I had this thing on full screen. I was not reading. What is this, dude? Why inshallah? No, dude. No, 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 no Islam today, boys. He's trying not to laugh at the chat. Dude, I was not reading the chat, dude. I should have though.
Like, on a serious note, the chat was not up on the little thing that we're on, so
Yeah.
didn't see anything.
Ask her opinions on the Hashemite kingdom of
No,
Jordan.
I'm good. I'm good.
Okay, turn on the ability to clip. You know, for this particular stream, I think I'm good. Um, what is, dude? What, dude? What?
What the heck?
The pen is Aura. Thank you, dude. Thank you, dude. No, that's Muhammad, not Allah, bro. Come on, dude. Now, why would you say that? Let's think very critically about this. Why would you say that, dude?
Okay, I'll give my opinions on both. This
Okay.
is from a lacrosse standpoint.
Oh,
Because fun
never mind.
fact, I
We
play
don't care.
lacrosse. We don't care. A. Well, I also used to live in North Carolina, UNC. If I have to pick a North Carolina team, I'll go that. But me
Let's go, dude.
personally, University of Virginia is where my heart is at.
No,
UVA, go who's go. That's where my heart's at.
no.
In Charlottesville, Virginia.
Well, bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
Question for the lady: how do I know if females are conservative? I live in Canada and attend a public high school.
I gotta think about this. Um, I think one thing is, why do I just see somebody go lacrosse? Uh, I'm sorry, I meant Mossad agent. Okay. I think sometimes you could tell by a person's like actions, like their values, especially in like a Christian way. But honestly, there's not a really good way to know. It's just talking to people and then you learn to figure out what people's values are, but sometimes you just don't know. And that's okay. I
Hmm.
mean, I can't really give a good way. I can't be like, mine read and but I mean, every
If she
person
does
is
this one
different.
thing, she's conservative.
As a lot of people are conservative on different levels. A lot of people talk
Hmm.
about it more vocally. Some people never really talk about it. So there's not really like a good way to know because everybody has their own way of portraying it. Some people talk about it, some people don't. So sometimes you just don't know.
Hmm. Okay. Here's another question for you.
Gosh.
Maybe for me too.
How do how do I talk through a real one?
I should have known the comments were going to be these questions,
There are
dude.
gonna be these questions, and you know what? If these are the questions y'all really want to ask, I'm just here. I'm just here answering questions. Um, this is such a random question. This is so funny. How do I talk to everyone? Just like be nice. I mean, a lot of us girls don't want a guy who's gonna be a jerk. I mean, I'll speak for me personally. I don't want somebody who's going out and living that party life, like, yeah, I'm gonna go get drunk, I'm gonna go smoke. No. But just also like mm, uh, girls really like it, like when somebody will just listen to them. Because a lot of people now don't want to listen, and just having somebody like listen. Somebody commented, "Well, women aren't real, so easy fix." We are very real. Um, but just like listening and like being there is a good thing, but just don't be afraid to talk. I mean, worst thing they're gonna tell you is no, but even
No,
then.
that is not the worst thing that you could get told.
Okay, the worst thing there's a
Ooh,
lot of worse
no,
things you get
gross. I
told.
thought you were gay. That's the worst thing you could get told. I would say, though, if you want to
That is
talk to a
true.
real woman, though, just literally, it's not actually that hard. You just have to, like, grow a set. Like,
You
go
just
up
gotta
to her.
try.
Go up to her. Don't do anything weird. Okay. Listen, I know you're autistic. Man watching this. I know you're autistic. We are all autistic. Okay. But go up to her and say, "Hi, my name is such and such. What is your name?" And you just keep the conversation going from there. Yes, you can talk about trains and rhythm with autism, but just go up and say hi, dude. Just go up and say hi.
You just
Um,
gotta do it.
yeah. Isaiah, don't fall for it. She is a Mossad agent. I know. I know.
Not a mistake.
Isaiah, want to play
Why are
Fortnite?
you
I'm
getting
good.
asked if you want to play Fortnite, bro?
I'm good, dude. I'm good. I don't play Fortnite. If I play video games, I play like Madden or I play NBA 2K. I love Madden and 2K. Okay. For the lady or Mossad agent, should Isaiah grow a beard?
Well, it depends how long, like, sorry, I don't know what happened with voice. Depends how long you're thinking of, like, making it. Because if you're thinking, like, here, go ahead. Now, if you're thinking, like, you want to go all the way down to, like, really low, maybe not so much, but it just depends, like, what you want to do with it, honestly. I mean, my dad has a beard, and
Mhm.
he
What
rocks
if
the
it like
beard.
went down to like about right here?
Maybe not, you
No,
know, maybe
no,
not.
not the
It's a
John
little
Calvin
long.
beard. Maybe about right here.
Mm,
We can get it in like a
no, not
cone and
like
it
the
just
Duck
goes straight
Dynasty
down.
like beard. No,
Okay, no, no,
no.
no, okay.
Speaking of beards, I was at the grocery store not that long ago and I saw a guy that had a beard that long and he had it like braided. It was really funny. Sorry,
You're
sidetrack there.
good. I never
Never.
spoke to a woman. Bro is so brave. Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. Um, if my former high school did a mock election, it would be 0% Kamala, 25%, 95% Bernie AOC, 5% American Solidarity. That's crazy, bro. That's wild, dude. You went to like an activist. You went to an activist high school there.
I mean, he's
Um,
reading them right now, so
I am, dude. Dude, question for the Israeli guest. Dude, I don't think okay, infralapsarianism or superlapsarianism. Do you know what that means? Okay. Chat, she does not know
no,
what
I don't.
infralapsarianism is or superlapsarianism is.
I'm not gonna
Infralapsarian.
answer it because I don't know what it is. And
Just say
I'm not trying to say
infralapsarian. Just
something
say
stupid.
infralapsarian.
I'm not
Trust.
I don't know what that means. I'd rather just look it up later than say something and then like regret it later on, you know what I mean?
It's a theological thing.
Okay, I'll look it up later then.
Okay, let's see here.
I'll go do my research later.
You should campaign to overturn Obergefell. We should do that. We should do that. We need to get rid of gay marriage. No, dude. Don't do Ramadan, bro. Convert to Christianity. No, dude. Y'all, dude. No way, bro. No way. What is that, dude? What is
What the
that?
heck? I don't even know
Dude.
how to read that. I'm not gonna try to.
Oh my gosh, dude. Okay, we gotta get some real questions in here. We want more Hebrew, dude. What is this? Um
Whoever said don't ask her about words longer than 3 syllables, I'm not that dumb, I swear.
Wow,
I just
dude,
don't know
that's
what it
crazy.
means. I'm not gonna answer a question about something I don't know what it means because I'm not trying to say something bad.
Barry Goldwater or Reagan. I don't know enough about Goldwater's policies.
Yeah.
Ultimately, I don't like Reagan's social policy. I don't like no fault divorce. I don't like the softening on abortion. So, but I'm gonna probably just go and his economic policy kind of worked for a little bit, but then it didn't work anymore. So I'm gonna go with Reagan just because I don't know enough about Goldwater's policy. Do you have an opinion?
I don't know enough to answer the question, so I'm not gonna
Okay.
answer it.
Okay. Wait, Isaiah is a Nazi? Apparently. So I've been told. So I've been told.
I think almost
Um,
every conservative who speaks out has been told they are, so
yeah, exactly, dude. Apparently, I'm a promoter of neo-Nazi propaganda. Have either of you read *The Righteous Mind* by Jonathan Haidt? I have not, but I've heard of it.
no,
I've heard of it, but I have not
I
read
have
it.
not.
Um,
I have a stack of books that I just bought that I need to read, but no, I've not read that.
yeah, you're good, man. You're
No,
good.
keep asking questions. I like the actual, like, serious questions.
What is this chat? I know, bro. I know it. It's my fault. We brought a woman on the show. Um, let's see. What is all this Hebrew? Okay. Thank you, Ruben. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. That's
Okay. I'm happy for you, I guess.
thoughts on the LGTV community. Yeah, no, all of it's cringe. I
LGTV.
All of it is cringe. I know in the conservative movement, it's the new fad to say like, "Oh, but gay people are okay now." No, 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 no. As long as they're against groomers, they're okay. No, 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 no. We don't compromise with evil. We don't compromise with something that the Lord calls an abomination.
I'm gonna give my opinion on this
Okay.
because I have a lot of friends who are in that realm and,
Hmm.
in that stuff. I'm not gonna not be friends with somebody because of that. Sin is sin, and everybody struggles with their own sin, and we are not perfect beings. None of us are. So, I mean, everybody's gonna. Does that mean I'm gonna go to march out in some parade? No. Because do me personally, I'm not for that. But I have a lot of friends who, just in statistically, women athletes tend to be more lesbian or stuff like that. So like most of like my teammates are, and I'm not gonna like bash them for it, but I'm not gonna go out there and stand in a parade for them, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Like I'm
yeah,
not
you're
gonna go
not
out
you're
there
not
and be
gonna beat them
like,
over the head with it, but when they ask your opinion, that's the thing though, is when that topic comes up, do not be afraid to say to
yeah,
say unequivocally that that is a sin, and quote the scripture too on that. And obviously, we love these people. The sin is abhorrent, and politically, we cannot unite with evil and expect God to bless the political movement. But ultimately, these people in your day to day life, do not be afraid to share the gospel with them. Um, you have a fan.
I'm so glad. I don't know who that is, but I'm so glad I have fans on here. Thank y'all. I'm really trying my best.
You're doing great. You're doing fantastic.
Thank you. I appreciate
Um,
it. No, no, just no,
she says no.
just no,
Okay, for
just no.
okay for the Mossad agent. Thoughts on Wilhelmus Van Diaper?
Who?
Dude, I hope he's in this chat, dude. He's a great guy. I hope he's in this chat.
I I have no idea who that is. So
Do
to
either of
whoever
you read?
said, sorry, go. I'll
No,
go.
you go ahead. What were you saying?
To whoever said we should have her on the show more often, I agree. I'm cooking right now.
We should have her on the show more often. Do either of you regularly read the Federalist news site, not the Federalist papers? I do not. I do
No, I
not.
don't.
No, no. Uh, I'm not putting that up here. Okay. Um. Oh, here we go. Ask her about Venezuela.
Well, I mean, me personally, at the old church I used to go to, there was a bunch of Venezuelan people there, and I think it needed to be done. I'm happy to see that people in Venezuela are now happy now that they can go back and not have to deal with Maduro. And honestly, I think it was just, Biden put that, don't ask me the amount because I don't remember the exact amount, but that like bounty over his head. And I'm just glad it finally got done. And I think one thing that a lot of people don't understand, and I was talking about this actually in my government class, is so many people are trying to say what he was doing was unconstitutional, that he was declaring war. He did not declare war. There was no
Yeah.
war being declared. And so I think a lot of people just, have their misunderstandings about it. And I think some people are unhappy about it just because of who did it.
Yeah.
And, more power to you. You feel how you want to feel. But me personally, I think it's a great thing that it happened because I feel bad for all the people in Venezuela who are having to deal with that because it's not a fun situation, and the whole drugs and all that, like, those drug things affect more than just Venezuela, and drugs overall is just a terrible thing. Like, it's just not good. So I'm glad it got done. I'm glad that he stepped up and got it done. And I it happened while I was asleep. So I woke up and I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck happened? I woke up and I was like, I don't know what happened. Um, so yeah, I'm glad it got done. It needed
Yeah,
to be done.
ultimately, we've had an indictment over him since 2020. We went in, arrested him, and we were out. I mean, that's all there is to it. Also, too, if you just discount the drug thing, I mean, he's a Chinese allied. That's a Chinese allied regime, and ultimately, under the Monroe Doctrine, we cannot allow old world powers in our hemisphere. I'm a firm believer in the Monroe Doctrine, and so I support that action because this is, at the very least, this is our half of the world. This is our hemisphere. It has been United States doctrine since the beginning that we will dominate this hemisphere and we will run the hemisphere. Um, okay. Not gonna lie, I haven't listened to any of the show. Chat is too fun right now. Well, that's great. I'm so
I've missed so
wonderfully
much.
proud.
I see like we'll talk about something. I see something pop up. Like I see somebody put. I woke up to Macarena playing. You know what? Heck yeah. You do you. You have fun with the Macarena at however early you woke up.
Yeah. Okay. So 36 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to like and subscribe and keep sending in the questions. We'll keep going for a little while longer. So, all right. Serious question for the
Can you? I
female
haven't
homosexual.
named y'all.
What do you think about the propaganda against white people?
You are what race you are. I mean, you can't. You don't get birthed and you aren't born and just like yeah. I want to be this race. It's not it's something in your control. And I think that's something JD Vance said great is you can't control what race you are. You're born what you're born. It's not a you come out and you go on the birth certificate and be like, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to be that. You're born what you're born. So I don't
Mhm.
understand the whole let's be mean to somebody because of what race they are. You don't pick your race. You're born and you get what you get. So I mean, I don't really see the whole thing about let's have propaganda against somebody because they're white, you know. That's just it doesn't really make too much sense to me.
Yeah, and I mean, and I'll give my opinion on it. And fundamentally, it's retarded. And white Europeans have built the greatest civilizations ever known to humanity. And uh, and it's funny because they complain about our existence while wanting to come and overflow our countries. Ultimately, I think the whole goal of the propaganda and the white self hatred is in order to extinguish the white race from the face of the planet, and it's because they have some kind of generational grudge and hatred against white people because of colonialism or whatever. But ultimately, wherever colonialism happened, wherever white Europeans went, society got better, not necessarily because there's anything inherent about the white race that makes them superior to anyone. It's just the fact that our culture is superior to every other culture. We showed up to we showed up to the Americas. The Native Americans were out here scalping people and they were barely dressed. They hadn't even invented the wheel yet. You mean to tell me that that culture is equal to European culture? We're not buying it. And fundamentally, I think, especially young white people, I think we're just fed up with the nonsense. We're fed up with being called racist. We're fed up with being called sexist, fascist, whatever, just for, simply being proud to be of the heritage that we are. Ultimately, we've built the greatest civilizations, and there's no reason to apologize. Sure, maybe, sure, there have been some things in which our ancestors did that were uh, not good. There, certainly were some genocides here, but ultimately Native Americans committed genocides, black people committed genocides, Arabs committed genocides. There's genocides everywhere. Ultimately, there's nothing particularly evil about the white race that makes it so that we should uh, hate ourselves. As a Canadian, I think the U.S. should have Greenland for the safety of everyone in North and South America. Yes, we should. We should. Apparently, we told them we would give them um, money equal to or more than the entire GDP of the Kingdom of Denmark. So that's, yeah, that's base, dude. Which we apparently, which I'm not like as thrilled about that because ultimately we're trillions of dollars in debt. Could we kind of, pay some of that off first? But, uh, we'll have to probably worry about that. And to do that, to fix deficit, you're going to have to raise corporate tax rates. You can do the Andrew Jackson methods because Andrew Jackson was the only president to actually pay off the national debt. You can do the Andrew Jackson method. There are countries that are in debt to us. You can go to them, threaten war, and get them to pay up. But ultimately, you're not going to get the trillions of dollars we need. You're going to have to raise corporate taxes. It's going to have to happen. I'm sorry. I know the conservative people here in the comments are going to get mad at me, but it's just the truth. St. J. No, dude. No, dude. We will be the old people leading. Based. Yes. Trying to scroll down, see if we got some good questions. The CIA and Israel. Yeah, that's how Isaiah gets more views. Yes, I am a CIA puppet. Actually, you have all fallen for the CIA psyop. Question for the no, we're not doing that either.
We're not doing that. Nope, we're not doing that.
Bro is not answering half of these questions, if not more. Dude, why would I answer? Dude, half of these questions are nonsense, bro. This is stupid, dude. I'll answer the serious questions and maybe some of the funny questions. You know, it would be better to throw in the monarchy, destroy the economy, and then leave the land and come back 2,000 years. No, we're not doing that. Let's see some more. Shalom. For the female, are you a Lafoni?
Yes, I'm definitely a Lafonia. I'm a fan. I was watching last night. It was really funny how y'all were like, "We are the Lafonies." I was like, "What is going
Hey, dude.
on?"
Dude, it's
It's a
awesome.
fan club.
It is. We're gonna get
Hey,
shirts.
you have those
Everybody's
free
gonna be wearing
shirts you're
shirts.
supposed to.
Yeah, I gotta get the free shirts. Cough cough. Shout out great granddaddy Oliver Cromwell. That's cringe, dude. Oliver Cromwell was kind of cringe. Amfest is in the greatest state. No, the greatest state in the union is North Carolina. Let's be objective for a moment. The greatest state in the union is North Carolina. Look, dude, nothing touches it. Nothing touches it.
You got Wawa, you got Publix, you got Cookout, you got
Cookout,
Beach
dude.
Out, you got beaches, you got mountains, you have the Carolina Hurricanes.
Well, when they're good. But hey, but the Panthers are good again. Let's go, dude. I cannot wait to win the Super Bowl next year. It's gonna be amazing, dude. Bryce Young, the Carolina
Yeah.
Reaper. Yeah, it's gonna
Mm-hmm.
be great.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that game against the Rams, look, we didn't lose it. It was rigged fundamentally. You know, it was rigged from the beginning. Keep scrolling.
Side note, the Phoenix airport is so much smaller than I thought it was gonna be.
Oh yeah.
It was so small. Granted, there was like 8 Starbucks, but it was so small. It was a lot smaller than I was expecting, especially because when you get on like the little things to go like the rental cars and all that, takes you
Mhm.
across takes you across like up the highway and all that. So I'm like, oh, this must be a huge airport. No, it was not.
Yeah. I lost to Vance. Dude, since when did I run against JD Vance, bro? That's just you, brother. That's just you. Okay. Some of this is just kind of silly. Okay.
Some of these I see, I'm like, not even.
Dude. Okay. You should come to Amfest, bro. It'd be
You
great.
should. It's so much fun. I went there not really. I don't want to say not really knowing anybody that was going, but like there's people in my area who I've never actually like met that I was gonna supposedly hang out with there, and that's how I got some of my best friends was from that because you know, you just gotta go there and you'll find people. It's a lot of fun. I highly recommend it. I'm excited for next year.
Me too. We should get you, dude. I'm gonna get you the free shirts, bro. I'm gonna get you the free shirt. What? Latinos for president. You can organize that when I run for president. You can organize that. That is so true, dude. That is so true. I am not a morning person. I hate morning. I hate mornings, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
I like how these questions have gotten so unserious. It's so
I
funny.
know.
Fest is upcoming year. Let me figure out the date because I'm actually
Okay.
don't remember. Because I'm gonna give y'all an actual good answer instead of tell y'all something and it be wrong. It is. Oh gosh, my website will load. It'll be December 17th through December 20th
So
of
y'all show up,
2026.
bro. Y'all show up. It's gonna be great. Move Amfest to Nashville. That's probably not gonna be happening. You can dream, bro.
Yeah.
You can dream. Maybe y'all will get a Super Bowl in a little while since you've got a new stadium, but I don't think you're getting Amfest. Do, 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 do. Um, no, not that. We don't want that. Um, we do
Sorry, I
not
saw a
want
little
that.
bit. I was like,
Question for the lady: Calvinism, yay or nay? I
what?
don't think she knows what that is, Christian.
I'm making that very clear. If there's something I don't know the answer to, or I don't know exactly how I want to answer it, I'm just not gonna answer it. I'm not
Yeah.
gonna be somebody who says something and then later be like, "Oh, that's not what I meant." I'd rather just not answer it. So,
Well, I answer Christian. Calvinism is definitely a yay, but you're not a Calvinist. You're, and we're not going to go into that debate today. Um, okay. Yeah, the Babylon Bee is just kind of the Babylon Bee has kind of devolved into kind of just stupidity at this point. It's literally they made a fake article about Megyn Kelly having a beeper blow up on her. Like, dude, what are we doing? That's the other thing though about Ben Shapiro's speech is like he went after Megyn Kelly, and what did Megyn Kelly even do? Megyn Kelly didn't do anything wrong. That was stupid. Okay. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. That one.
guys,
There we go.
ask some
Lutheranism,
actual
yay or nay?
questions. I don't know much about Lutheranism. I'm
He's Lutheran,
Baptist,
so
so
you should probably say yay.
I'm I'm Baptist, so I don't really know.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
Baptist, I am a Baptist. I am a Baptist. Make that clear. Yeah, I'm Baptist.
Dude, some of these
Yep.
questions, bro.
Some of these questions I see, I'm like, nope.
Anglican? You don't know what that is? Okay.
Guys, stop coming at me with these four-syllable words saying she don't know four-syllable words. I just don't know everything.
She's an Ethan Jelly Belly. That's crazy. Important question. I never listened to Doug Wilson debate over Israel at Amfest. Should I listen to it? No, because it wasn't a debate. It was like him saying, like, yeah, I'm a Presbyterian and I believe in covenant theology. You know, obviously we're not obligated to support Israel. And then he goes into, now here's why you should support Israel. Like it wasn't even a debate. Both of them sat there and they made like assertions, and then the other one would be like, yeah, I agree with that completely. Like, there's nothing I disagree. And so, and then the only debate that really happened was a dude who, with the dudes that showed up and asked questions at the microphone. Um, they were pretty good. Ultimately, there weren't great answers, but it wasn't a debate. It's really not worth listening to. I went in there for that, and that was terrible, dude. What should I make the home screen on my phone? I don't know. My home screen on my phone is is a Theodore Roosevelt campaign poster with the
Mine,
bull moose on it.
mine is this beautiful picture I got from Amfest actually of
Oh, that's
Phoenix,
nice.
and then I have it puts like a little Bible verse up there. I love
That's
that picture
based.
actually. Yeah. So I
That's
don't know what you
based.
should make your home screen. I don't know.
Okay. Here you go. You've got another fan.
Who is Face Fart? Bro, who are you? Because I have some
You,
friends watching and I don't know what their things are, and they're like, I'm sending things. I don't know who y'all are. Oh,
I would never forget y'all, bro. But yeah, so you've got fans. It's great.
I'm
Those
so
fans
glad.
should really like and subscribe to the channel. We do shows Wednesdays and Fridays
And
at 8:30.
and they should also go follow Liberty Square Podcast on
Mm-hmm.
Instagram and YouTube and X and TikTok. Get that following up before we drop our first episode.
Mm-hmm. Isaiah, will you give me citizenship? You know what? If I'm President Ruben, I will give you citizenship. I will get you over here, bro. Okay. Look, dude, y'all are crazy, dude. We've already asked her if she's a Lafoni, guys. Come on now. No Christian. No, we're not doing that. Okay. Um, why is bro accusing us? Because I've been reading through some of your questions. And I told y'all not to embarrass me. Come on, bro. Best defense for the Monroe Doctrine? Well, obviously, look, at the end of the day, controlling our hemisphere is what's in the best interest for the American people and for America as a nation. And so that'd probably be the best thing I could come up with just on the spot. Favorite surah in the Quran? The surah in which Allah calls himself the greatest of all deceivers, proving that he's not the God of the Bible. Dude, Gabe, good job, Gabe. Bro's reigning in the chat. What is the difference between historical premillennialism and dispensationalism? Yeah, dispensationalism is the belief in the rapture and the necessity of Israel as a political state, and historical premillennialism doesn't believe in that. Let's see. What denomination is she? She's a Baptist, I think.
Yep. Southern
Okay.
Baptist.
Mm-hmm. Dude, dispensationalism sucks. I agree. 22 watching, but only 9 likes. Come on, people. Like even if it's just for the lady. So true, dude. So true. Make sure to like and subscribe. Which account of Martin Luther's conversion is true, the duel or the lightning storm? I think probably the lightning storm. The lightning storm makes much more sense than
21.
21, dude.
Sure.
21.
21.
Yes. That's what a Mossad agent would say. So now we're back to you being
Wait,
accused.
what? What did I say that's what it was?
I guess that you're not a Mossad agent. And that's what a Mossad agent would say. How can you prove to us this day that you are not a Mossad agent?
I don't know. Just not. I'm not. Me telling y'all. I don't know. I'm just not. Women aren't real. Prove me wrong. What makes you think women aren't real? What I want to know.
Yeah, we're gonna need to hear an argument for that. Let's see here. If the original Pledge of Allegiance didn't have the "One Nation under God" quote in the original pledge, then why should we use it? It's literally in our national anthem. So we only usually sing the first verse of the national anthem. There's actually 4 stanzas, and the last one is the one that directly references God and says, "Our motto shall be, in God shall we trust." So, Taylor, here's one of your other people.
Hi. I finally know it's you now. It's all my friends. Love to see you on the podcast. Thanks.
Dude,
Dad, I'm not
it's
a
been
Fed! Dad,
confirmed.
I'm not a Fed!
Chat.
Dad, I'm not a Fed! Dad, I'm
It's
not a
over,
Fed!
dude.
Dad, I'm not a Fed. I don't know why you are trying to confirm with them
Dude.
I'm not a Fed.
Chat, it has been confirmed. She is a Fed. She's a federal
Dad, I'm
agent.
not a
Judge,
Fed.
we knew it.
Dad,
We knew it.
Dad,
Women, dude,
Dad, I'm not a Fed.
Gravemind, you were correct. Women are not real. And they're just, dude, dude.
Dad, I'm not
Man.
a Fed. Why you ratting me out?
Dude, that's crazy. That's your dad?
Yeah,
Bro, you got ratted out by your own father.
I know.
That's
Bro,
crazy. But since he's your father, he would know obviously that you were a Fed. So it's
I'm not
confirmed
a
now.
Fed.
If someone likes dispensationalism, then they a Fed. So true, King. So true. Okay. No, we're not doing that. Amfest equals Mossad agents for sale. I don't know, dude.
What?
What?
I don't. I'm. I'm very.
I am so sorry, WebZone. I am so sorry, dude. I have tried to cut out most of this. No, don't be a silent watcher, dude. They're going a little crazy today. Is it sinful to sell at your friends if they do something wrong? Like, be honest. The fact that they did something wrong, if asked.
Yeah, I'm
Like in that
confused
case,
what your question is
yeah.
asking.
If you're asking like, hey, someone comes to you and your friend, they committed like a crime, and then no, like it would be a crime to lie about it. Do you know what a Maltese dog?
Not
What?
off the top of my head, I don't know what a Maltese dog
Do you
is.
what do you prefer in terms of pets? Cats or dogs?
I like both. I used to have a cat, but I like
Mhm.
both.
See,
I
dogs are
like both
better.
dogs.
Dogs are better.
Dogs are cute, but
Is it? Yes, it's sinful. That's why I didn't do it. I promised you guys I was not paid in order to bring her on. But since her father has said that she is a federal agent, then it's sad.
not a
Um,
Fed. Ain't no way that his comment actually got pulled up. That's so funny.
would TPUSA accept someone like me?
I don't know much
Sure.
about you, so I couldn't really tell you, but they want
Well, he
anybody.
is a monarchist, so maybe not. Maybe not. Um, thank you, bro. Thank you. I appreciate that. $1 million question: can a Christian vote for Democrats? Depends on the Democrat, but usually no. You can't vote for that. Would Isaiah 9 be yeah, I mean, dude, most of the people on campus don't like me, so I mean, I guess I don't know. It's okay. Okay. Let's go with the American Revolution. Come on, give us some good questions that we can discuss, dude. There were some earlier questions that were way better than this, dude.
There's some that have popped up that I've seen that are good, but I just
No,
haven't
we're
gotten
not.
to them yet.
No Vols, dude. No, that's disgusting, dude. Tennessee, really, dude? No.
Yeah, no.
What in the UVA? They do not approve of
No,
University of
bro.
Virginia.
UVA, go Who's Go. It's just a beautiful campus. We just are good at like a bunch of sports. UVA is just on top. UVA is just better.
Is it though?
It is. It just is. That's not like a question. It just is.
I mean, do you have 7 championships?
I'm sure we probably have more than that.
No, you don't. I'll
Yeah.
answer for you. No, you
Yeah.
don't. In basketball,
Mm,
no, you don't.
mm, mm. I'm about to
Mm,
fact check you on that.
let's pull it
How's
up here.
y'all's lacrosse team though? Mm,
We've won
mm,
championships in lacrosse. Hold on, trust me.
not as many as UVA.
Virginia men's basketball championships. Okay.
One of my friends going to the same college as me is freaking yeah.
Aha.
Actually,
You've only
no
won one.
UVA. William Jewell Cardinals. Yeah, that's where it's at. Sorry, keep going.
You've only won one, not 7. Yikes.
Lacrosse is way
Okay.
better though.
Chat, I want y'all to put in the comments right now. What is better, lacrosse or basketball? Let me know. Lacrosse or basketball? It's
That's like a
obviously going to be
dumb
basketball.
question. That's a dumb
That's a
question.
dumb question. Why
Have
is it a
you
dumb question?
watched
Tell me.
lacrosse? Have you
Uh,
watched
I have
lacrosse though?
watched. I've watched a game. I've watched a
Have you
game one
watched
time.
men's or women's lacrosse?
Men's.
Okay.
Yeah. It was.
Literally anything but lacrosse. Why else the taters? Lacrosse is so much fun. It's not bad. Lacrosse basketball is floppers. I agree.
What denomination are you? Oh, I'm Presbyterian. She's Baptist, right? You're Baptist.
Yes,
Okay.
I am Baptist.
Um,
Nerdy sport. Okay.
that's so true. Hold up, though. Hold on. Have you seen Dr. Jordan Cooper's videos on the gentlemanly class? No, I have not, but I will look. I will look into it. Top 5 books. I'll let you answer that one.
No, you got it. I'm not that much of a book person, honestly.
Really?
I For me it's hard to like sit down and just like read a book. I have a hard time with that.
Do you listen to
Especially
audiobooks?
not yet. I also just don't have a lot of time to just like sit down and like open a book.
Gotcha. Well,
But I can tell you what
obviously,
my number one book is,
yeah. What's your number one?
the Bible.
Based,
Amen
based,
to that.
based. So obviously, number one, I would say the Bible. Second, I would probably say On the Incarnation by Saint Athanasius, because ultimately, I think that that is the best book on the incarnation of Christ in your Christology that you're ever going to get if you really want to study into that. Athanasius was probably the greatest church father. Um, Obviously, we can argue between like Augustine and different people, but I think that Athanasius is the best church father, and I think On the Incarnation is my second one. Third would probably be, in terms of my favorite books. Third would probably be, and then there was Light by John Meacham. It's a book on Abraham Lincoln. It's pretty good. Fourth, um, Taking Manhattan by Russell Shorto. It's on the creation of New York City from a Dutch settlement to an English one, and it's pretty good. There's some political commentary towards the end that he makes that I don't appreciate, but overall, it's a good book. Fifth, probably um, of all time, fifth would probably be The Institutes of the Christian Religion by John Calvin. Very important work. Okay, what the? All right. Yes. We go up to people and we introduce ourselves by our full name, middle name too. That's how it works. When will you play Red Dead Redemption? I'm low-key good. It looks like a really fun game. But I probably won't play anytime soon. The Calvin beard only looks gonna come. That hurts. That gum, dude. That's sad. Now I'm sad. Okay. Um Dude, what is this though? Hold on. Now I'm seeing this, dude. What?
Bro, I don't know why y'all are hating on um words long or me not knowing certain words.
Okay. Why should gay marriage be abolished? Because ultimately we want a Christian society and a Christian nation as the founders intended. And ultimately, if we want to have a Christian society, we want to have a society blessed by God. We cannot allow sodomy to exist in the United States. So ultimately, and gay marriage just isn't real marriage. It's a slap in the face to God. God is the one who instituted marriage, and therefore it is not our prerogative to redefine marriage. And if we want a good Christian society and a great society for our children, we have to ban sodomy. Uh, so, like we used to. Okay. Why'd you say gay marriage? I already answered that.
Because when God talks about like marriage and it's like a covenant, he talks about how it's like man and woman. So like, yeah, gay marriage, you might be married by law, but in God's eyes, that's not what it is. Like a
Mhm.
marriage is a covenant between a man and a woman. So that's kind of my
Right, and
little
ultimately,
take
if
on
you
it.
do it without God involved, it's not a real marriage. Um, Thoughts on the Trail of Tears? Yeah, so I mean, there's mixed opinions on actually what the purpose of the Trail of Tears was. The general narrative that you're going to hear surrounding the Trail of Tears, and there's some truth to it. Gold was found in the mountains of Georgia up into the mountains of North Carolina, and ultimately the Cherokee were sitting on that land. Cherokee and several other different native tribes were sitting on that land, and so they removed them, sent them to Oklahoma. Ultimately, I think Andrew Jackson's main motivation for that was protecting the Native Americans. And so in that, I think I think his intentions were okay. But ultimately, I think that what happened there with all the deaths and everything, it was terrible. Thoughts on the Trail of Blood? It's stupid. It's stupid. We won't go into why because we have a Baptist on here. We want to be respectful. Um, we should have her on the show more often. We should. We should. So true, King. So true. Okay. So being gay is a sin, but it's okay when teenage girls gossip or eat bacon or other sins. Only bad when it's gay. No, nobody said that. Nobody said that. Actually, you
Sin
shouldn't
is
be
sin.
gossiping about people. And eating bacon is also not a sin. Are you a Muslim? Are you Muslim? So, okay, so eating bacon is a sin, but dating a 6-year-old child and then raping her when she's 9, that's not a sin. That's okay, right? That's all right, because Muhammad did that. That's okay. You can have as many prostitutes as you want as long as you marry them for a certain time. Is that okay? Like, no. Uh, Look, you're misunderstanding. If you're going to go to Leviticus, ultimately you have to understand that there's a difference between the moral law, the civil law, and the ceremonial law. Ultimately, we are still under the moral law, but the ceremonial law went away with the establishment of the new covenant. The civil law is not applicable because it was given to Israel. So eating bacon, no, is not a sin. Only bad when it's gay. Nobody said that. I love how you people take that out of context. I love how we say X thing is a sin, and then your immediate response is, "Oh, so it's only that." No, you're trying to find hypocrisy, but you're not going to find it. Nice try, though. Nice try. Um, let's see. The troops should be given that bounty money. Yeah, they should have. They should have. Thoughts on Renee Nicole Good? Shouldn't have hit that ICE agent. Ultimately, it's a tragedy that happened, but she shouldn't have tried to hit the ICE agent. And she objectively did, by the way, from several different angles and from his own camera footage. Um, does the Constitution allow states to freely secede? No, secession is illegal. I'm a Lincoln guy, dude. Of course, I'm going to say that secession is illegal. We'll do a few more of these. Monroe Doctrine, yes, sir. Uh, no, I'm good. Um, what do you disagree with Isaiah on? That's for you.
I gotta think.
What'd you say?
I said I gotta think on that.
Okay.
I'll come back to that because off the top of my head, I mean, I know there's things that we don't agree on.
Hmm.
Um, you know, I I think me personally, you know, sin is sin, but I'm not going to absolutely just treat somebody who I'm close with in a different way because I mean, I sin, you sin, we all sin.
Hmm.
Some people struggle with different sins, and um, I'm not gonna completely cut somebody out of my life because they struggle with a certain sin that I don't agree with.
Hmm.
Because we're all sinners. That's just the truth. And so, while I may not agree with, you know, being gay or this or that, I'm not going to dox somebody or completely just cut them out of my life as a whole because that's the sin that they struggle with. Because, like I said, being a female athlete, so many of my teammates or people I know are, and sometimes you're gonna work with people that you don't agree with, and that's okay. But that's just that's how life is. You're gonna work with people that you don't agree with, and for me, I'm not gonna tell somebody that they're terrible because, um, they're gay. One of my best
Mhm.
friends, she's gay. You know, that's I'm not gonna completely just remove them out of my life because, like I said, we all struggle with sin. I know there's things that we all struggle with, and so do I agree with it? No. I'm not saying that's not me saying I agree with it, but everybody struggles with sin, and sin is sin. Like, God said there's not a sin that outweighs another. There's not one greater than another. So everybody struggles with sin. I'm not gonna go promoting sin. I'm not gonna go agree with sin, but everybody sins. And so I'm not gonna dog somebody because their sin is different than my sin. We're all sinners. I don't agree with it, but they're still my friends and they're still people who I hold close to me. So,
Well, and ultimately, I don't think we disagree on, cutting people out of our lives. Or, you shouldn't cut someone out of your life because they're an unbeliever or they're in
yeah.
sin. Ultimately, I would agree on that. Genuine question: what is her name?
Taylor Snavely.
Okay. When you say "be born how you're born," you can't pick it, get what you get. That's how being gay is. No, it's not actually. Being gay is contrary to human nature. Can two gay people result? Can a relationship between two gay people result in human life? It cannot actually, because it requires a male and a female to produce human life. It is fundamentally contrary to nature, and it is a slap in the face of God, who instituted marriage. Um,
I want to say one thing that I saw. Um,
no,
yeah, in like the eyes of people, there are sins that outweigh others, but to God, sin is sin. It is all sin. So in some eyes, like yes, you know, murder is, that's a big crime. You get put in jail for murder, but you're not gonna get put in jail for being gay. But in God's eyes, sin is sin, and that's just all sin is bad. But it just
no.
loops back into the whole point I was making of everybody's a sinner. So
Go nuts, dude. We'll go to Cookout, man. I'll be back in Louisville. We can go to Cookout. Uh, do you believe in systemic racism? No, no, I don't believe in systemic racism. Um, only we'll take a few more, and then I'll go ahead and wrap it up. I want to be respectful of
yeah,
your time, and um, here you go. This one's for you. You like Isaiah's speeches?
I'd say so. I mean, once again, there's things that you're gonna be more extreme or care about more than or value more than I do, or there's gonna be things we disagree on. But yeah, I would say I do. Yeah, I agree.
Foolish,
Panthers are not winning
foolish,
the Super
foolish.
Bowl.
What are you talking about? The Panthers are winning the Super Bowl, dude. Okay.
Delusion, delusion, delusion.
I'm having less faith in democracy and more faith in monarchies. Ultimate Christ is king. And the English actually thought that America would end up becoming a monarchy. Thoughts? Yeah. Ultimately, that's really great that we're not a democracy. James Madison took a whole section of the Federalist Papers to talk about why we're not a democracy. We're a republic. I would agree with you that democracy is stupid. Ultimately, it's the tyranny of the majority. But a republic is what we have, and a republic is good. Okay. Is any actual good? Your story today was Loki and Saint. Which story? Okay. Let's see here. Let's see if we got any last good questions.
I can't look through them. I need to talk about this comment. Panthers won last place. Can we talk about that? Can we ask
No,
your
we
opinion
can't.
about that?
No, no, no. I think we're good.
Oh,
We think we're
but Super
good.
Bowl? But Super Bowl? Yeah. Yeah, we
I think his
trolled.
thoughts on LGBT are a little off. Sin is sin, no sin. Okay. The stance that he gives would have you confront people over one sin, but not the other. No, never said that. I didn't say that. I think, if you see that your brother's in sin, you should confront him no matter what the sin is. Yeah. Okay. Last favorite religious text that's not from Christianity. I don't read religious texts that are not Christian. I'm sorry, no.
Yeah.
Um,
There was a
okay.
time a couple years ago you could get Panthers tickets for $3.
Okay, yeah,
Just
that's
saying.
because we were bad, but we're good again. Trust,
Exactly.
dude, trust.
Exactly.
Micah, my friend, you should know we're not having that debate here. But based. Okay. Okay. Well, that'll probably do it for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you, Taylor, for coming on.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, but thank you all for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe. 44 people watching right now. Thank you guys so much. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thank you. Bye.